on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to episode 55 of the LNBE Podcast, where LNBE stands for literally nothing but everything. I'm Mike Rispoli, and I'm just realizing that it's now been a year of me doing this. So hopefully, if you guys have stuck it out with me for a year, you guys see the improvement. If not, go fuck yourselves. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so first things first. I want to say that I'm sorry that I didn't put an episode out on Tuesday. I know I said I was going to, but as you know, I went down to Nashville, Tennessee, because of my buddy's bachelor party, and I had all intentions of doing a Tuesday episode to give you guys updates on it, but when I got off that plane, I was fucking exhausted. I mean, I pretty much did not sleep for 4 nights, and, actually, I got on the plane. I was like, do I even want to go back? Dude, Nashville is a fucking time. Nash Vegas, baby. If anybody is planning a trip, now this is coming from my own experience, so do what you want. But if you guys are torn between going to Nashville or going to Vegas, 100% go to Nashville every day of the week, because Nashville is just a friggin' blast. I remember when I went to Vegas, I went for, I want to say 4 nights, just like I did for Nashville. And I remember about 2 nights in, I was like kind of settling into what it was going to be. And I was just like, this is going to be a long fucking weekend. Nashville, on the other hand, I was just like, this place rocks. Even during their quote unquote like slow season, I thought it was a grand old time. The vibe of Nashville is just unlike anything I've ever seen. It truly is like a party city. I mean, granted, it's bar after bar, especially if you're on Broadway. If anybody's been to Nashville, you guys know where Broadway is. It is just, it's live music. There's plenty of stuff to do. I am already trying to think of when I'm going to plan my trip back, because I really did just enjoy my time there. It was the most fun that I had had in years. It was also a great group of guys that we went with. So yeah, man, like, even if it's not for a bachelor party or a bachelorette party, get a couple of your friends and just go down, have some fun, kind of let wild. I mean, I've gone on this podcast and stated how many times that I am not a dancer. And I was up on that dance floor every friggin' night. I mean, me, of all friggin' people. I don't know, man. It just brought something out of me. It was just like, I was down there, and I was down there to have fucking fun, and I achieved that goal. You only danced because you were absolutely hammered. You liar, coming on this podcast saying that you don't drink and you go down to Nashville and party it up. No, I was actually dead ass sober. I mean, granted, it was very tempting. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it wasn't, especially since I was there for a bachelor party. Everybody else in the group was drinking. I was not. And that first night was really the hardest night, honestly. And everybody was drinking. I kind of felt like I was the odd man out. And there was a point where I was just like, do I just order myself a drink? And my buddy next to me was just like, no, man, don't do it. You're going to regret it. It's not worth it. You've already gone this long. Why would you want to break your streak just because of something like this? And he was absolutely right. I don't regret not drinking at all. I still had a friggin' blast. I actually still think I had more fun because I was sober than if I went out there and I just got totally blitzed. I mean, we were out every night. We probably hit 20 to 30 bars throughout the whole weekend. It was a friggin' wild time. I had a blast. All right, so what did you do? What made it so fun? All right, so first of all, let me take you kind of through this trip. So we go out of JFK, and I got patted down going through TSA. They wanted to check my hat. Like, all right, fine. Guess the x-ray machine isn't doing its job. But meanwhile, 2 guys ahead of me, there was a dude, definitely of Middle Eastern descent, and he cruises through like a fat person on a slip and slide. And I'm just like, why didn't his turban get checked? Not to be that guy. I didn't think he had anything on him. But I'm just like, dude, We all remember how the pants bomber went. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather lose the head between my shoulders than the head between my legs. Like, I don't know, where else do you think he's gonna hide his shit? Sorry, but like, who the fuck likes getting patted down at the airport? And of all the people, me? Like, no offense to that guy, but you're patting down me? The whitest of the white guys? Like, come on. Oh my god, could you imagine if there was a TSA agent who might have known Osama before he got on that plane? Like, hey, Osama, is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Well, funny you should ask. By the way, you a virgin? Don't move. I'll see you in a bit. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. But we get down there. We get to our Airbnb, which is actually right above a bar. And it was right on Broadway. It was perfect. It was perfect walking distance from everywhere that we wanted to go, except for like our daytime excursions. So the first night, we just kind of grabbed dinner, and then we just walked around just to kind of scope out like what the scene was going to be like and all that stuff. But I did the one thing that I never thought I would ever do. Down there, we booked going to a gun range because the guys in the bachelor party and my friends are all into, or I wouldn't say that they're into guns. I don't want to make them sound like gun nuts. But they all have guns and they all like to go shooting and stuff. That was something that I had never done. And they start me out with a full automatic MP5. And I'm like, this is the friggin' gun that I'm going to pop my gun shooting cherry with? All right, let's friggin' do it. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So shot that full automatic, whatever it is. I don't know if it's a rifle, if it's a machine gun. I don't fucking know. I'm not a gun person. But they all had a blast with it. Because obviously the only time you could shoot a full automatic is at a gun range. Unless you're also in a school. Ayo. But then I also shot 22. And I thought it was interesting because the 22 was a lot harder to shoot than the full automatic. It was a lot more kickback than the full automatic, and it was also a little bit harder to handle because like you had to do a certain grip. I don't know. I'm not a gun person. I shot both guns and I was just like, all right, you guys have fun with all the rest of the ammo because this is just not my thing. But it was funny because I remember the instructor was just like, and remember guys, if the target's talking, it ain't a target. And I'm just like, well, I guess it depends on who's speaking. And after we left, one of my buddies down there was just like, dude, you didn't feel a rush when you shot it? I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of get a better rush when I punch somebody in the face, but that's me. So, that was more for them in The Bachelor than it was for me, but we did it because he likes it. Got to do what The Bachelor wants. And then the other daytime excursion that we did was curling. And we did some daytime excursions just because we couldn't spend our whole friggin' 4 days at bars. Like, that would have just been way too much. And I gotta say, curling. You make fun of it on TV because they look so fucking stupid with those brooms. It is way harder than you would have ever thought. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking wiped out my first time. Did I post that on Insta or social? No, because I'm not gonna go out and embarrass myself. Did I maybe post a video of The Bachelor wiping out? Absolutely. And no, honestly, neither one of us wiped out because we're on ice. You're like, oh, it's ice, of course it's slippery. No. The way that it works, if you haven't done it before, is there's a little wedge thing that they put behind you that you rest your dominant foot on. And it's kind of like if you're wearing heels and your foot is arched. Like, imagine that. So you're in like a 3-point stance, essentially. One foot is on this block, and that's what you use to push off. And then on your left side, you've got this holder thing to keep you steady. And the woman who was explaining it was like, yeah, you want to put at least 40% of your body weight on that holder so you don't freaking kill yourself. And on your left foot, or your non-dominant foot, I'm right-handed. So on your non-dominant foot, you put this slider thing so you could slide on the ice because there's booties that go on your feet so you don't just slip on the ice right when you step on it. And I'm like explaining this, looking at my feet and shit as if you can see it, but hopefully you can imagine this. So, you kick off with your dominant foot, but when you kick off, that slider thing on your non-dominant foot just also wants to friggin' go. So if your first time, it's just really kind of awkward, and that's what made me and my buddy just totally wipe out. I actually didn't fall, but I just did an overextended plank. But after like 2 or 3 tries, all of us kind of got the hang of it. I do kind of wish we did it for a little bit longer, because we all started kind of getting in a groove, and we were just like, dude, like, let's fucking go. The easiest way for me to explain it is like, if you've ever played shuffleboard, it's shuffleboard on ice. It is really fun. It is honestly something I wish I kind of had around here, because now it's just something I'm just like, geez, this is actually more fun than bowling or some other stupid indoor sport. So yeah, gun range, curling, and then during nighttime we hit the bars. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but we definitely hit like 20 to 30 bars. Some of my favorite bars down there, I really liked Old Red. That's Blake Shelton's bar. I thought that they had the best PA system. Between Old Red and Morgan Wallen, I thought they had the best PA system. The music just sounded great. Both of the bands who I saw performing there were awesome. Oh, but you know what I will say, speaking of Morgan Wallen's bar? That friggin' bar had at least 10 to 12 floors. I have no idea how big this place was. Every single floor had a different band playing, and that was actually how most of the bar setup in Nashville were. But the easiest way to get up and down to these floors were the stairs. And with the amount of stairs there were, it made me think, why the hell are there so many fat fucks in the South if they gotta keep going up and down however many flights of stairs? My God, we went to the rooftop to every bar just because, why the hell not? And half of the time, I was out of friggin' breath. And I like to think I'm in pretty good friggin' shape here. Alright. I really liked PBR for all of the wrong reasons. When we went, PBR was absolutely dead, but that was where the Mechanical Bull was. And obviously we had to throw the Bachelor on there. I mean, just friggin' hammered drunk. We were just like, yeah, get up on there. He actually did a lot better than I think any of us expected him to. He actually fell kind of gracefully, so that kind of helped things. But the women there were all just ridiculously attractive. And then their uniform was just assless chaps. One of the bartenders, and I posted this on my Instagram and TikTok, because the bar was actually so dead, she just went on just to practice. And we got there at the right time, let me tell you, because we were just like, oh my God. Hey, yo, I got something you could ride. Honestly, I wonder how many drunk idiots have gone up to a woman on one of those Mechanical Bulls and said that exact line. I mean, I didn't say it to her, but I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't thinking it. So PBR was really cool. If you're a guy, you're going to really like it. Or at least if you're a straight guy, you're really going to like it. But that's the bar that I ended up getting proposed to. So to tell you that story, nothing really crazy, honestly. I saw a woman who was part of a bridal shower, so I went up to her. I was just like, oh, you guys part of a bridal shower? We're part of a bachelor party. And I guess part of their whole thing of the group is, because this woman was just flashing me this card. I'm like, all right, what the fuck is this card? She's like, we all have to do a dare. I'm like, all right, well, what's your dare? And she's like, I have to propose to somebody. Can I propose to you? I would be honored. So she ended up proposing to me. Too bad I just got to tell her husband. Girl had a rock on her finger. Oh, and speaking of women, there was this group of Australian women that we met up with. And Saturday night, we were hanging out with them because we met them at a bar that was kind of dead. And then they were just like, oh, where are you guys going to go to next? So we all just kind of migrated over to the next bar. And chatting up, having a little fun, whatever. I ended up getting one of the girls' numbers. And the next day, they were doing like their day excursions. And then she texted me later that night, like, hey, let's hang out. I'm like, all right, let's hang out. So I'm out at one of the bars with my friends. They meet up with us. And at one of the bars, we're dancing, we're singing, We're moving to the grooving. And she turns around and she goes, you know what would be really fun is if we go and wake up your roommates. Because some of them tapped out early. Fucking squares. And I'm like, I know what that's code for. And now I know what you guys are all thinking. Were you able to come from a land down under? Well, I fucking would have if the plane could have gotten off the runway. Because we're standing in front of our Airbnb. And she goes over to her friends. And her friend just goes, if you go up there, I'm going to be so pissed. And that was the end of that. So, I get it though. I was upset just because I'm also just like, when the hell was I ever going to have this opportunity again? But I totally get it because at the same point, this would be a woman going into a stranger's Airbnb that would also have 5 other dudes in it. In all honesty, her friend was actually being a good friend because she was also probably just thinking, God knows what could also happen up there. So I totally understand. But the cock block still hurts. Also, something that I would just like to put out there, she was also completely sober when she was going to make this decision. I bought her one drink that was the only drink that she had had all night while we were hanging out because I can already see some of the comments or commentary that some of you might make, and I'm just going to shoot that shit down. And just like dancing, it also went to show that I don't need alcohol to also get women. I can get by on my sparkling personality. I don't know, man. Like, there was something about being down there where it just really kind of proved to myself certain things and also allowed me to realize that whatever was hindering me, whether it was talking to women or dancing, that it really was just all in my head. You just gotta fucking go do it. But unlike me, you know who did get fucked? The Buffalo Bills. That's right. You didn't think I was going to talk a little bit about this? I actually didn't watch the game because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Also, it doesn't help the fact that I was exhausted and I fell asleep at halftime. But the poor Bills must be the friggin' most cursed team in the NFL. From what I did see, I even posted this on Threads. Not that anybody sees it because I have no freaking following. But from what I did see, I posted on Threads. I was like, why in the hell is the Chiefs offense even on the field when the refs just moved the ball for them? I didn't fully watch the game, and I gotta be honest, in that first quarter, from what I do remember seeing, it looked like Josh Allen almost threw 2 picks right out of the gate. He threw 2 really bad balls. So you got to give credit to the Chiefs defense because they were able to kind of shut the Bills down in the beginning of the game. I obviously didn't see what happened later on because it ended up being a high-scoring affair. But Josh Allen had 2 first downs. Or no, not Josh Allen. Josh Allen had 1 first down. I don't know who had the ball. Oh, Kincaid. Kincaid had the other first down. Both got called back. So like everybody else is saying, I'm going to say the same thing. That was absolute bullshit. Those should have been easy first downs. And then that last play, that 4th and 3 play, where Allen just throws like a 40-yard bomb to, I don't remember if it was Kincaid or Knox, one of the tight ends. Everybody's saying that he should have made that catch. I don't know, man. He's running full speed across the field. Allen throws up a Hail Mary ball. Whoever it was, if it was Knox or Kincaid, is running across the field full sprint, has to adjust his body to come back towards the ball, and he missed it. Now, granted, he got both hands on the ball, so the rules say both hands on the ball, you make the catch, but that is also a very difficult catch. Now, would that play need to have been made if the Bills get those 2 first down calls? I don't think so. And I'm going to continuously bitch about it, but the refs just continuously do more for the Chiefs than I've ever seen. It truly is getting ridiculous at this point. It's making me not even want to watch the friggin' Super Bowl. I have to friggin' root for the Eagles. And honestly, it's a good thing that nobody actually listens to me because I was totally wrong about the Eagles. I was worried that Hurts being injured and a few other factors was going to totally hinder them, but I'm actually glad I was wrong, because I actually think the Eagles have a better shot at beating the Chiefs than the Commanders did. Turns out that I'm wrong about literally everything, because when we went to the DraftKings bar down in Nashville, they actually did a promo where if you signed up for DraftKings in front of them, they gave you $200 to gamble with, and they gave you a $75 voucher for food and drink. So 3 of us who did not have DraftKings, me included, were just like, yeah, fuck it, let's sign up. Let's get some free food. So, and also it was free money to play with. Like, hey, it's not my money that I'm gambling. What do I give a fuck? So I actually used that cash to bet on the Bills game. I bet anytime touchdown Josh Allen, didn't happen. I bet Travis Kelce to score anytime touchdown. That didn't happen. I bet the under, thinking both teams had a good defense. That didn't happen. I bet Josh Allen to get 50-plus rushing yards. That didn't happen. I thought Pacheco would get over 40 yards. That also didn't happen. I thought Keon Coleman would get 25 yards. That didn't happen. Nobody should ever listen to me, because I clearly don't fucking know anything about what I'm talking about. Now, you're also probably thinking, well, those are stupid odds. Yeah, well, $25 would have won me 30 grand if all of that had hit. So you kind of have to bet the ridiculous shit if you're going to want to win some money here. At least according to this. It's also the first time I ever used DraftKings. But with that said, I'm probably going to bet on the Super Bowl, because I still have cash to play with due to the $200 voucher. And after that, I think I'm going to get rid of DraftKings, because you're going to lose 90% more than you're going to win. And one thing about me is I do not like losing money. Or maybe I'll just keep it, and then that way I can bet on 2 games next season and hopefully win then. Because football's the only sport that I can avidly bet on, because it's the only thing that I can continuously watch week in and week out. I can't bet on basketball. I can't bet on baseball. I can't bet on hockey. That shit just gets out of hand for me. Football is the sport that I think I know the best, even though I clearly don't. So I'm just going to use that money for next year after the Super Bowl. So hopefully the Super Bowl can win me some money. But anyways, that does it for me this week. Again, I am so sorry that I did not do an episode on Tuesday. I was just thoroughly exhausted. Also, my voice was completely shot just from all the singing and from shouting at my friends in the bar because it was loud and all of that stuff. So we will be back on track next week. If you guys like this episode, please share it with a friend. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things that you guys need to do to help boost this, because without your help, it's not going to go anywhere, and you guys are the reason why I do this. Follow me on my socials. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at the LNBE Podcast. I changed it up a little bit. And if you want to write in, feel free to do so. You can email me at lnbemedia@gmail.com. All right, people, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next Tuesday.